Hello and welcome to Bargain and Submission Gaming. My name is Rich. We're going to play a little more Powerwash Simulator on my Xbox. I've played this level before. We're going to do the Tomb Raider DLC. It's on. Well, let me move over here for a moment so you can see. It's on. It's a free DLC. There's no achievements with it. I've played it with Jeff, but I'm playing on my Xbox now, and I've never done this on here. And y'all seem to like watching these Powerwash Simulator videos, so I don't mind recording it again. I enjoy playing this game quite a bit, and I want to keep people's attention on this until the second game comes out. So let's start that job. We'll move our camera back over to the other side because it works better when we're playing a game. And we'll get started with this. I think we'll start with the little this thing here, the fountain here. Let's switch our thing over to the. I trust you have everything you need to begin work. I'll be sure to furnish you with tea and biscuits just as soon as I escape a minor predicament. I notice it's nothing to worry about, by the way. Miss Croft likes to set me these challenges from time to time, otherwise one can get rather dull. Alright. One pylon done. We should probably do the little thing on it too, huh? There we go. And underneath too, huh? Gonna do. Let's get that first. Just get all the underlip, because then it's easier to come back and just spray everything else. I don't have to be squatting down all the time. Ah, they're a top lip too, yeah. These are fun because you don't have to really spend your whole time paying so much attention to the gameplay. You can just kind of zone out and chat about whatever you want. I did that when I was doing this game, and then also when I was, I wonder if you have to get the top two or something. I'm looking for bits and pieces. There's quite a bit of this wall here that I don't have. So let's try going like that. I think, yes, I think this section here counts as part of that wall. It did. It did indeed. Yeah, the shipbreaker one, the hard space shipbreaker. That was a great one for me because I could just like yap on about whatever I was wanting to talk about at the time, and and then you're just breaking apart the ships. And that one had a nice story. These ones, the little stories that I read to you guys, are silly. It's kind of fun, but it's like, it's not that important to the gameplay. The one with hard space was like, it was very much this sort of breakdown, takedown of like kind of the company town sort of thing that we're kind of going back to, like that big business can't be wrong and it must always be deferred to. And it's does a great job of exploring it. It's like good science fiction almost always does when it explores ideas that they talk about it being in the future, but it usually that future is just basically there to help you understand the present, the world you live in, not the world of tomorrow. The world of tomorrow today. That would be a fun one if a DLC for one of these, like if they could get a deal with was it Hanna-Barbera who did that, or who was the Tom and Jerry people? They might be their own company. I'm not sure who the animators are. I don't think they're Hanna-Barbera, but I believe Tom and Jerry were the ones that like had the little shorts like the world of tomorrow today, and then all these like I think what we'd call them now a kind of retro future sort of thing, where it's like this is our idea of what cars and homes and RVs are all going to look like, and it's kind of like you're kind of like doing it like a big car show or a display of your kitchen, that sort of technology sort of thing. The take on the old newsreel, and those were just fun. I enjoyed those, And when I was a kid, it was just it's the guy's voice. It was entertaining. It was silly, and you laugh at the silly jokes. You don't really understand it until you're an adult. You're like, oh, this is they're trying to kind of make fun of a newsreel a little. At the same time, they're having fun with that science fiction-y look of tomorrow sort of thing that you used to see in the old pulpy magazines. You could take a look at them and say what people thought was in store for them in the future. Alrighty. Just start with the top rail on this one since I'm up here already. This is probably going to be a 3 or 4 episode job if I'm doing this by myself. My brother ended up reinstalling this on PlayStation. I haven't yet just because I don't have the room. He bought an internal hard drive to put into his PS5. I don't have that, so I'm just constantly juggling space. Whereas on my Xbox, I have that like 2 gigabyte expansion card, and that just lets me have a ridiculous number of games on here that I'm always intending to get back to. Which when I'm recording stuff for this channel, it's like maybe maybe I won't get back. There's some I'm going to download that immediately. I see that's coming out for Game Pass, and I got to give it a try. And then they sit there because I'm like in the middle of doing 7 other things, or like trying to chase the dragon of the things that people like to watch. The people like to watch the racing games, so I just keep recording the Forza Motorsport, but that's kind of died out. You're not getting as many views on that these days, so I don't know. I'd like to stop playing because I'm really not a big fan of racing, but I'm trying to grow the channel, so I am trying to provide people what they want to see. I love these. I love this. I love whatchamacallit. People were watching a little bit of the Sniper Elite, which that's just plain fun. But those end up taking forever to get through an entire mission or thing with the Sniper Elite. So I ended up taking, which is the same with this. I ended up spending maybe 3 30-minute sections trying to record an entire zone part of this game. All right, let's jump up here and start getting this last section. Okay, I must not have done this side of the wall either yet. No, I didn't. Okay. And I've been playing a lot of Wu Chang, which I enjoy a great deal. I think it was an excellent addition to Game Pass. If you like Souls games, I think it's a lot of fun. It's a lot. I'm not gonna say a lot easier, but it definitely for me it was easier to pick up the mechanics on it than some of the other ones I've played. And I'm enjoying it a great deal, and I'm trying to stream that for an hour every night. And then me and Jeff play our Overwatch and stuff, and that's regular reviews with Overwatch. So I gotta kind of try to keep up on that. I'm probably going to walk away from Marvel Rivals maybe at the end of the season. I could probably walk away now. Would probably be the smartest thing to do. But it's like, but I already bought the Battle Pass. I already bought this. And the thing is, when you play things like that, it just keeps you playing, forever. You get they design it like that on purpose to keep you like feeling like you have to keep playing the thing because you've already spent the money. My brother bought the second season pass and he walked away from it like halfway through the season. I was like, yeah. It might have been actually season 1. Like we did season 0 and then in this season 1, and he's like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not having fun with this. So he quit it and he just sat down. And that would have been probably the smarter thing for me. Whereas me, I'm like, well, people like to watch some of this content, so I kept recording the ranked stuff. I was playing a lot of Marvel Rivals, doing the competitive stuff. But the thing is, like, the way they do competitive in that game, where they reset you back down 3 ranks, 3 whole. And when in a rank is subdivided each time, so like, if you're gold, it's gold 1, 2, 3. And so it's like and that's that's as far as I would usually get is gold. So it would set me all the way back down to bronze, and I just that getting out of bronze is such a brutal slog every time, because every count that hasn't played ends up being, anyone who hasn't played, and all these people with their Smurf accounts just end up down there just destroying it. And then they let people 5 stack. They let people group up with friends of 5 or more, and that's not fun to me. It's not fun to be a guy playing by himself, because Jeff's not playing with me anymore. So if he's not playing with me, why would I want to play it? I tried a little Frag Punk last night just to see what it was like. Not particularly fun. I enjoyed a little bit of it, but I can see, it's not that it's not fun. I can see that it's fun, but I can also see it's got like 7 different currency types. Some of those things it was made to take advantage of the live service model, and I really don't want to get into another subscription thing. It's just not for me. And it's like I could go back and play some Call of Duty instead, which I actually was enjoying a bit of this season, but it's like I was trying to get so many other things in, so I let it fall off. And I don't play enough of it to actually buy a battle pass for that, because I'll play for a few games here and there, and then it's like, okay, I got other things to record. So as much as I like games like that because they're social, you're playing with other people, and then when you're at home doing all these other recordings during the day, it's nice to be playing something a little bit with other people. But it's kind of funny. Dad bought me this smartwatch, and when I'm playing, I've been streaming Wu Chang. And it's funny. It's like it tells me I'm getting all stressed out when I'm playing Wu Chang, which I think is freaking hilarious, because I never get that when I'm playing the comp games. I'm just not getting that worked up about them. You might hear me swearing and, like belittling the people on my teams. You ever watch my streams or the videos of those games? But the thing is like, I'm not really that worked up because my body's not, getting all stressed out about it. A fountain top, where did I like it? 50. I'm wondering, is this like different fountain top or is it all the same fountain top? I don't know. Let's stick to this side here and see if it changes significantly by doing this. Just like it doesn't appear. I think it's the whole entire fountain top in its entirety. This fountain, I may not even complete the whole fountain in a 30-minute section. It looks like this may be a 4-part series. I might get to 25% or so. Yeah, people seem to like this. People like to watch my racing games. I think it's because they like racing. I don't think it's because they like me chatting away so much. Um, I don't know. I do a bit of it sometimes, but sometimes I like if Dad's home and doing stuff. I end up feeling a little self-conscious about just talking out loud and having this stream of consciousness thing going on with the an open mic or something. And then I end up probably making boring video, which I really got to learn how to do more of this. I think when I'm recording some of the other videos, when I'm doing my Wu Chang, or when I'm playing Cyberpunk and stuff, I'm a little too quiet. I think I could just get zoned in on the action a little too much, and it's like, people can do that themselves. They don't. I mean, two people do like to watch gameplay without commentary, I guess, but still, I mean, especially my gameplay where I'm just like getting focused on finding collectibles and stuff. That, while it's fun to me, I don't think it can be particularly entertaining for other people to watch if I'm not being trying to focus on having something to say while I'm at it, while I'm doing the content. Which is why it's much better. I find I do a better job, I think, of it when I'm streaming, because at least occasionally I will get people watching the stream talking to me a bit. I had to add, on my channel, I made it so people can only talk in chat on my stream if they've been followers for like 10 minutes or so, which you think discourages new people from joining the chat. But it's just like, I got tired of people trying to sell me their fake art all the time, which is a constant thing. Is people decide they're gonna and then their art is always this like AI created stuff. It's all from the same place. They're all just following a script, and they always start with "What's up?" Like, that hasn't been a thing that we say. Is this like something that people, these scam artists from other countries, still think like Americans are into? Is like, "What's up?" I don't know, but it's they always start with that. It's like there was the kind of gag that like American culture filters out to other countries slowly. So it's like people in other places are like in the 80s, culturally speaking, very much stuck in like American centrism. But I mean, I think there's a certain element to that when it comes to like the pop culture stuff. There might be a little truth to that sort of idea. I don't know. I mean, we are the home of Hollywood, and Hollywood does spread our culture across the world for fun and profit. Good. I remember when I was doing this with my brother, part of the problem is like I would be working on this and I'd go back and look, and he'd have like half the house done. And it's fun when you're playing with somebody, but it's like, but I don't know if it's good like for when I'm recording and showing other people, because they miss. I would get questions on some of our videos. It's like, where is this thing? How did you do this thing? Like, man, I don't know. Maybe that's something my brother squirted. My brother squirted. That sounds wrong. But some section that, we covered together. Just, I think the key to playing a game like this is just, being methodical, working it from one spot to another, taking, and then, you're going to miss spots, and you're going to have to, like, come back, especially when there's like small bits. But if like for these big things, when you're done, you get the big thing, the whole thing ends, and you can move on to the next section. I'll have all 4 of these inner walls done, and I'll probably do this bottom part here, and then I'll work on the base of the plinth and work my way up. And I may actually have to get like a ladder or that scaffolding there to get that part done, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to leap up on top of it and get everything easily. Trident. I'm going to miss the Trident when they have their second game, because I'm pretty sure they're not going to give you this easy mode spray thing when you start out the, Powerwash or 2. But, I'm also going to enjoy being able to start, from the beginning and, building up the business or how it's going to work. How did I just walk up that? That was weird. I didn't have to jump at all. I just walked up the wall there. I'd very much like to see what the camera saw there of my character just suddenly popping up the wall. Where we are, 20 minutes. I think 25% is going to be the number we're going to shoot for this time, because I think that's where we'll be at around 30 minutes. That's before or after 30. That's where I'll cut it. I mean, I try not to go too much longer with these videos. Okay, perhaps it might be just to say a few pertinent points whilst you work. Okay. So your next point, sir? It's Winston Smith that's talking to her. Miss Croft is quite an extraordinary woman. Yes, we know Laura Croft is an extraordinary woman. It's quite an extraordinary woman. Come on. She demands exacting standards both from herself and from others. If you excel, you meet her generous side. Oh. If not, well, Miss Croft has an extensive and colorful vocabulary. Well, that doesn't sound nice. Is he saying she becomes a bit of a Karen? It's funny. It's like these are free DLCs, this one and the Final Fantasy stuff, because this is distributed. The publisher is Square Enix. This is an independent studio that made this game, but the people who published this was Square Enix, so they probably got the rights, because Square Enix has the rights to Tomb Raider these days, and also, they're also the publishers of Final Fantasy. So that's probably why those couple were free. The rest of the tie-in license stuff, which ones were there? There was the Alice in Wonderland. Well, that one they probably did on their own. They didn't have to pay anyone off for that one, because that one's, public domain these days, the original Alice in Wonderland stuff. As long as you don't make it look like the Disney stuff, you're golden. But the other ones, like the Back to the Future one and the what else? The SpongeBob SquarePants and what else was there? The Shrek. I mean, those are all different, very popular IPs, intellectual properties. So those, and that's why it's like also $5 or more for each. So I don't know if that covered the cost and then made them a lot of money. I would hope so. Actually, it's only $5 if you have Game Pass, probably, so that you get the 10% sale. I think it's like $7.99, $8.99 for each of those DLCs, which, like for bargain and subscription gaming purposes, that is bargain any way you see it. Like if I were to pay full price for this game and for the DLCs, I would have absolutely no problem with it. I think it's worth every penny. You get a whole lot of gameplay, many hours of fun, and I think this is fun. It's engrossing. It's certainly, as Yahtzee, the video game reviewer from, it was formerly Zero Punctuation. I think he's at Second Wind now. He likes to call it the dad game genre. I think this is just one of the best examples of those sorts of games. It's silly. It's time consuming. It's a task that you might not want to actually do on your, for real. The idea of going around, running around, carrying a power washer, those things are, it's heavy. It's a lot of work. You get soaked. You wouldn't think so, but you get absolutely soaked. So doing this is nice. Just to make things shine, and they do a good job of making everything ridiculously, obnoxiously filthy, and then everything looks shiny and bright and new once you've sprayed it enough. Okay, let's get the top of the plinth here. Well, we are at 25%. Well, we're at 25 minutes. I'm gonna finish the top of this plinth here because I just can't not do that, but I think we'll end it after that. So we might end up being like 26%, but that's okay. It is okay. And also, you may have noticed, like, the final episodes of these always end up being just a little bit longer because it's always running around looking for those little bits, those little pieces you missed here and there. And it's no matter how methodical you are, you're still hunting down that one little, shutter or hinge or something that you missed on the initial, spray down of the place. All right, we're getting there. This should pop. We're going to get probably a pretty big gimme on this one, I think. There we go. There's the fountain pedestals. Yeah, that does take us to 26%. Next time, we'll finish this thing. And then, I don't know. I don't know if I'll start top to bottom, work left to right. We'll see. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Let me hit the little save icon here. Save. If you guys want to see more Powerwash Simulator, let me know in the comments if there's other games on Game Pass or PS Plus. Games are free to play. Games are on sale. You're interested in. You can write that down in the comments as well. I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. And I'll see you guys all next time.